Welcome back. If you're here, it means one of two things. Either you want to see more Made in Abyss, or you're just incredibly lost, in which case, well, you're in for a world of hurt. After everything we've seen, there's been so much joy, so much feasting. In a life and death survival situations, it's really shown that people will do pretty much anything. Although, somehow I think turning into an entire village yourself is slightly outside the realms of what most people are capable of. But also from when I first got introduced to all of this, getting to see the village, getting to see the inhabitants, I didn't expect this to come out of it. I wanted to see the journey of the expedition group alongside Rika and Reg and how that unpanned. And oh boy, how wrong I was at wanting to understand more. But I feel as though we will be closing in on the end of this village, or at least some of it. Faputa being the embodiment of all of Irumi's pain and suffering and loss of all of her children. Just what can the village do? Let's find out. Oh, is it? I mean, there's one way of carrying her around. It could be worse. Yeah, and I think scalping yourself and removing an arm, being itchy, may be one of the least of your worries. Is immortal. I mean, after all of the other of Irumi's children being immortal, kind of makes sense. Meg, where are you touching? But for Faputa to be reduced into this, is having the relationship with Reg regained after he didn't. He's got no idea about it. He's got no idea of their past. Yet this small moment of just being able to enjoy riding on his head. I guess, yeah, freshness. Especially if you're walking around with a wound like that, you're just leaving blood to drain out of it. I could get you a few extra coins. A gift. I guess, yeah, the heavy breathing there, not just seeing the one that Reg is with, but also the village and some of the others behind the barrier. Was that... Was that because Faputa took the Pushka whistle earlier on? And now, after her makeover at the hands of the Chiseler guy... I think after what we saw the origins of Faputa, where she came from and what she embodies, having a moment where she's just being able to let loose a little, almost enjoy herself. Just spending some time with Reg, who is so precious to her. Especially in this existence at the minute where she doesn't really have anyone to rely on, apart from that interference unit. Do you have something to say? Ooh, that whale. Yep. Having the mother village actually sensing a part of her child. It wouldn't be enough. I don't think he could withstand it. It was lent to him. I believe he would wish that he knew as well. But the idea of Faputa wanting to remove the village entirely. Rewrite what... It's a... God. She's getting quite... Yeah, I was trying to remember the name of the incinerator, but she's getting quite desperate in her ways of getting in. She's tried probably so many other ways that... So he would be attacking her mother and the prince. Slowly make your escape. Oh, the shopkeeper probably just trying to make a sale. I mean, it depends on the narrator of the story as to what we get, and certain parts may be left out, sure, but despite how it's made or where it came from, the village itself, the inhabitants... Well, they learned as they went along, so... They didn't really have a place to go back to. Well, the call of adventure is one thing, and is it enough to throw yourself away knowing that you can never return to the life you had? The endless call and thirst for more. For those that give up on that journey. So everyone here is somewhat the same. Giving up on their dream of continuing. And while that in and of itself can be troublesome, pretending you've given up on your adventure. Someone with such insight there. So if they weren't bound here, would they... Who would choose to continue down? And the ones who can use the cradles. I know, she, yeah, might have a pure soul enough to make use of them. What's there to deny? But it would mean the end of the village itself. If all of them are happy about it, though. And Faputa's wish of freeing her mother from this existence. No. It seems the decision might have to be postponed for a bit. I can't remember his name. The one who's always up for battle. Dream, or kind of close with what I thought it was, but also nowhere near. As again, they have so much to talk about. They haven't met for so many years. That's something Ma can definitely do. But we saw before the battle between Juriomyo and the beast thing that came in. What? Is there a balancing going on? Well, this might be the best time to ask. Made him. I see, so some of them... Some of them here are kind of like how Mitty was brought back all in all, and not everyone is just adventurers coming and giving up their dreams, but the will of the village. It became one with it. There's no way out now. There's no escape. Oh, a bit of a makeover, I see. A little more agile in this state. Is it a big sword again, or? No. Balancing globules. Well, you'd want to stay out of that area of effect there. Would you want to give up what you came here with? Well, that might help Reg make a decision now about what's going on. And now she's a bit. She had a lot of time, so no matter how much she screamed or how loud it got, then no one would have came. So, oh wow, it's like a thin veil of the balancing souls stuff. Ma. As long as they get hold of the part of the princess and remove the issues. And how is the souls of the children themselves going to react to all of this, though? If it's the will of the village. I'm guessing, though, we will soon see Reg's ability to rewrite. Every emotion of imaginable. Ah, if there's no one behind him, it means it's a open, available, easy shot. It depends on your definition of better. In the world of Made in Abyss, I don't think there is a definitive good outcome. It's been a while since we've seen an incinerator blast, but very nice. The fact that all the colours of the space are very muted, so the light itself is going dark, but so what? As long as she is with Reg, they might be okay. Using part of, not what is going to be used as a barter for Nanachi there as a, I'll pay you this. Oh. A way in. Why do I hear Final Boss music? An entrance if there ever was one. Her way of speech has changed a little. Seeing the villagers themselves. Put her into a blind rage for everything that they have done. It all will be reduced to nothing. It doesn't matter their original intentions, the fact that they put someone through all of that. I don't believe that the balancing there is really going to affect her too much. Their job here is done. Oh, the immortal Faputa. See, I wonder how the villagers themselves would see this. You know, a call for like their final release of all of this. A final catch up for all of the sins they have committed. While we have Nanachi still just sleeping alongside Mitty. So the dreams that she was having here, going along with the expedition group, they found it. She's just watching this as a outside observer, seeing it all. Well, it's good we don't need to explain it to her, really. Belav, what is your insight? What's going on? Awake from this dream. As opposed to all the episodes we've had previously, where I finished it, I'm like, I might need a few minutes to myself. Now we have this, which is a glaringly a continuation of their big journey. They've all given up descending further into the abyss, using this village that they can't leave as the safe point. Mitty. But now, having the village turned upside down, having the princess return to enact vengeance for all of the siblings taken and used beforehand, all of the sadness and loss that they've enacted on her mother, for their own survival, for their own well-being. Are some of them going to be happy that it's all ending like this? We saw Rico being oddly observant, being, you're all just pretending. You want to really continue your journey on ever onwards. The adventure. Irumi, who currently, as the village, has lost most sense of herself, her ability to talk, maybe even understand anything. I was going to say complex, but is she still present enough to sense that her daughter's come home? We heard the wail of emanate throughout the streets when there was a tiny piece of her. I feel as though the sixth layer is going to be slightly quieter once this is all over. But also, if we have an entire ecosystem and village being made in this way, having 3 relics, having 3 cradles of desire, what kind of wishes are embedded into them? What's going to happen at the end of all of this? I think I kind of can guess what happens to the villagers. I can kind of guess what would happen to the village. What would happen with Faputa after her goal is obtained, after the wish of releasing her mother from this state? Is there going to be a new companion on the adventure? Or is she going to be reduced alongside everything else? Big questions, but I know for a fact right now I am quite happy at seeing the incinerator being used again. Having the colours and visuals swirl around. Having the painful memories of every time it's been used before. Well, actually, right now I'm only thinking of one, and that's with Bone Druid. But along the way, the entire journey that Rico's embarked on here to go after her mother, to travel down the abyss, everything that we're learning along the way, everything that she is being put through, the fact that she's still being able to keep so open-minded about all of this. No, she's been told the story, she knows what they've done. And yet, he's like, I can understand where you're coming from. While still be questioning. So, but is this really the end? Is this where you want to give up? Spend your time now? But here we are, standing at the entrance. Knock on the door, try and go a little bit onwards. What the hell are we going to see? If you're kind of excited like I am, let me know. Leave a like and a comment on the video if you enjoyed it. Maybe join on further ahead. Not to miss out, subscribe. Hop on over to my Discord. I don't think there are any promises being made, but let's just enjoy some more Made in Abyss. If you would like to separate a part of yourself to keep the channel running, but don't think losing an arm would actually suffice, consider joining onto my Patreon instead. Because along with the likes of Noku, Raywin, Sal, Arthea, Kite, Shiwan, Mats, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyville, Levi GR, Scott Raymond, Megu42, Dark Shadow 7899, Jim Ace, Adam Horvath, Moaha, Finez, Kid, Yellow Dragon 123 and everyone else, we may just have enough. although I'm not entirely sure Patreon accepts blood donations.